All right, so we're starting the stream off with the news of Saturday, the news of today. Like, we got AEW Collision happening as I'm streaming this. So, folks out there watching wrestling, thank you for tuning in. If you're watching both, we've got AEW Collision going on, preparing for AEW All Out pay-per-view tomorrow. Then you have WWE's Payback. PLE, I gotta get used to that. It's happening right now as well. It's on Peacock and also on pay-per-view channels. So there's big things happening, but the biggest thing tonight, biggest thing that happened this afternoon, is that AEW has released CM Punk. And I'm not going to, fired. They fired CM Punk. Remember all them years fools were chanting for this fool to return? Pepper Spark. Okay, hold on here, Raph. Okay, hold on. Okay. So let me go ahead and read the statement real quick. All right. Here's a statement from AEW. Statement from All Elite Wrestling and Tony Khan. Okay. All Elite Wrestling has terminated the wrestler and employment agreements between Phil Brooks, aka CM Punk, and AEW with cause effective immediately. The termination was confirmed today by Tony Khan, CEO, General Manager, and Head of Creative of AEW. First off, the man runs 3 job titles. He needs to break those up a little bit. The termination follows a week-long internal investigation of an incident occurring backstage at AEW All In London on Sunday, August 27th. Following the investigation, AEW disciplinary committee met and later convened with outside legal counsel before making a unanimous recommendation to Khan that CM Punk be terminated with cause. Khan offered the following statement. Phil played an important role within AEW, and I thank him for his contributions. The termination of his AEW contracts with cause is ultimately my decision and mine alone. Of course, I wish I didn't have to share this news, which may come as a disappointment to many of our fans. Nevertheless, I am making a decision in the best interest of many amazing people who make AEW possible every week. Our talent, staff, venue operators, and many others whose efforts are unsung but essential to bringing our fans great shows on television and at arenas and stadiums throughout the world. So that's the official stuff. He did open AEW Collision tonight. First off, he opened it in front of the crowd before cameras went live. In front of the crowd, and you could see many people on Twitter who were there live in Chicago. Just you hear the boos, you hear the cheers. It was a mixed bag. But he did also open AEW Collision with a in-camera front saying that he fired CM Punk. The tweet, if I can find it, he says that Tony Khan says CM Punk endangered innocent people backstage, and he had to terminate his contract. Never have I ever felt that my security, my safety, my life was in danger at a wrestling show. Okay, so there were reports that CM Punk, after the altercation with Jack Perry, that he was definitely having a verbal argument with Tony Khan. Okay, so there are reports on that. I definitely get my reporting information certainly through wrestling Twitter, but I follow for sure Fightful.com. So everyone can certainly have that has their people. By the way, Ringside News is fucking awful. But everybody has their news source that they go with. And, if you get your news source, you get your news source, whatever. I like Fightful, Sean, and this entire team. I feel like they have a sense of integrity, and I like that within my reporters like everybody else does. So I am a CM Punk fan. I am. I'm an absolute CM Punk fan. I was a CM Punk fan when I first saw the Pepsi Plunge back in Ring of Honor, back in Impact. I love CM Punk since he was a tag team champion with Frankie Kazarian and he joined up with Raven. That whole trio right there. I've been a fan of CM Punk when he went to WWE and had a stellar run. I remember the pipe bomb. I was there for the pipe bomb. I don't know if that really shows my age or not, but I do remember that. I absolutely believe CM Punk is a fantastic wrestler, and I just like watching him wrestle. Him coming back into wrestling with AEW was back to that first dance was fantastic for me. Just hearing that music play again, and just knows like, yes, he's back. He's gonna do this. Wrestling has really missed him. It absolutely has. He was awful in the UFC, just awful though. I'm sorry, dude. But I am a fan. What I'm not a fan of is Phil Brooks, and I feel like that really needs to be the thing. And I say that because I remember reading an article about an interview that Paul Heyman did. Everybody knows Paul E. Dangerous. And Paul Heyman was in this article talking about CM Punk. And this was actually a conversation that he and management of WWE were having a conversation about the Undertaker and his streak. Who's going to break the streak? Who's going to end it? Paul Heyman recommended his boy CM Punk, who was the champion at the time. It's like CM Punk should be the person to end the streak. And management agreed. CM Punk would be fantastic to break the streak. It is a good idea. But they said yes to CM Punk, but they said no to Phil Brooks. Reading just that excerpt of that interview with Paul Heyman talking about that WWE management had faith in CM Punk, but they didn't have faith in Phil Brooks. It's like, wow, that's probably how people really need to see this a little bit. And again, this is also coming from someone who is a CM Punk fan. Like, when I was doing my bowling league with my friends, like I always did like a lot of wrestling, like little taunts and everything. Like I did the Batista when I got a strike. I did the Shawn Michaels a little bit when I got a spare. And when I was preparing, like, I was just doing the wrist. I was just doing the wrist stuff. Like, I still do that occasionally. Like that's just how it is. It's ingrained in me. Like I am a fan. But what he did last year at Brawl In, he should have never done. He should have never gone into that media scrum like that. He should have never went to the media scrum like that. He should have never had that brawl last year. Should have never occurred. And he should have been fired at that time last year. That is absolutely my opinion, and I know other people feel, but I'm sharing my thoughts on this. He should have been fired last year. And again, as a fan, I hate saying that, but that's where that business really got. That whole thing, in my opinion, and them the outside looking in, okay? We're all outside unless we are the ones who are in that building, who is in that office, who is actually seeing this shit. The articles, the reporters, they're getting secondhand things and they're having to report everything. That's their job. They're having to report. They're making little guesses here and there, but that's just what they're doing. The people like Meltzer, the people like Sean Sass, like they're reporting they're reporting what has been told to a certain degree, the best way they can. And I am not holding anything responsible over their heads about those guys. I'm not sitting over here like, fuck Meltzer, fuck Sean, fuck that. Like, I don't need that. It's CM Punk failed last year. Last year, CM Punk would have gotten fired, and if the Elite would have gotten fired too, it's like, that would have been a huge shakeup. Huge shakeup. And I don't know where we would have been, but you know what? I know that AEW would have kept on trucking. We would have kept on trucking, D. And everybody, of course, has like the whole, like, fuck the Bucks, fuck Kenny, fuck the Elite. And it's like, cool, that's your opinion. You have your entitlement to it. I have no choice. I'm not going to argue that at all. And again, we're all outside looking in. I don't know those guys personally. But I'm looking at this as these are employees, and as an employer, the employees fucked up. They got reprimanded. They got whatever. Fuck, the Bucks that night won the Trios tag titles. Woo, Trio tag titles. We got gold. Had the fight. Stripped. Okay? So, your consequences, absolutely. But that should have been happening last year. Now, Punk coming back, AEW Collision, new show, absolutely launching in Chicago. You absolutely knew CM Punk was going to come back. Absolutely knew. And I, as a fan, wanted him to come back, but I also wanted him to get his shit together. I wanted CM Punk the wrestler. I wanted CM Punk on that microphone in that ring, entertaining, doing great things, pushing new stars, pushing himself. I want to see that CM Punk. I don't need the brawl in CM Punk. And yeah, and he could always, he always says, like, if you have a problem with me, come up and blah, blah, blah. Come up and face me. Come up and talk. Come up and face me man to man. And it's like, I'm never going to change, never going to do this. It's like, well, bro, you need to change something. Because shit went wrong in WWE for you. Everybody in WWE knew who you were, apparently. And we're all over here just, oh, well, this has been this guy the entire time. Who knew? Well, they did, because they worked with you. And I didn't want this firing. The whole thing with Jack Perry's at fault as well. We all got, and again, outside looking in, we saw the reports. We saw reports that Jack Perry and Punk had a conversation about using real glass. Jack wanted to use real glass for a spot. CM Punk said, no, that's not a good idea. I guess Jack got into a hefty fit or whatever, and he just didn't like that. So come AEW All In during 0 Hour, during the pre-show, we see the spot. Jack picks up Hook, slams him into the limo, looks into the camera. That's real glass, Crimea River. Jack shouldn't have said that. Either Jack Perry, the character, Jack Perry, the behind the scene, the real person, it shouldn't have been said. The heat of the moment should not have been said. For people outside of that, people who didn't read that report, it's like, what the fuck is he talking about? Real glass climbing a river. No one understands that. I don't know what the hell's going on. Who's he? Like, why do we care? I don't know. It's not just Justin Timberlake's song. That's not the lyric. But all of us who definitely follow the internet wrestling community, who follow all the reporters, we know what that meant. He was directing that to CM Punk. And obviously, Punk took that wrong. Well, he took that quite harshly. For the pure fact that when Jack Perry's match was done, went into the back, apparently there was an altercation. There was an altercation enough that reportedly Samoa Joe had to go in and help break it up and tell Punk, hey, get ready, get your ass into the ring. And then all of a sudden, we're ready for the show. Samoa Joe comes walking out. CM Punk comes walking out, where moments ago there was a fucking fight with Jack Perry. And then, of course, CM Punk wins the match, drapes the title belt over his shoulder, walking away, thumbs up, points up, whatever the hell he was doing. I can't remember, I'm sorry. And he just walks out. And come to find out, he had a talk with Tony Khan. I guess a yelling match occurred, and he was told to leave. And Jack Perry was told to leave as well. You can't have this kind of conversation after the fucking fact. Like, it had to be there. It had to be then. And I understand wrestling is different than my corporation that I work at. If there's an issue with this, like, go talk to HR and like fucking can't take care of it. But no, it's here we are. CM Punk had an altercation with Jack Perry. Jack Perry, I'm pretty sure, is suspended. I have not seen any reports saying that Jack Perry is suspended, but I'm pretty sure he is. It wouldn't be surprised me. And sorry, I'm not watching AEW Collision right now to actually know if he is, but I'm pretty sure he's not going to be all out either. Like, he is just probably gone for a while because of this. CM Punk is now fired because this is the second time. And it seems that Tony Khan was fearful of his life, that this is where we are now. Tony Khan, fear for his life, is like, no, you're yelling too much. This is too much. Like, I'm out. Like, you gotta go. I hate that I don't have CM Punk in AEW. I hate that I don't have CM Punk in wrestling. Again. Now, I don't think that it's going to be 7 months. I don't think it's going to be 7 years till we see CM Punk in the ring again. Because where can he go? He can go to NWA. He can go to Billy Corgan's NWA. That's not Punk's scene. NWA is not where Punk needs to go. Punk would not thrive over in NWA. I think he would definitely be probably a pretty decent good producer, a damn good coach, maybe. But God forbid if someone's just makes one wrong comment to him and then he just snaps. Please understand, I am a CM Punk fan. I again, I have to stress that because I am. But there are consequences. And everything that I have seen on the reports, not talking like, to the actual officials, but as an outside person, looking at everything through the reports, through everything, this was the right decision. And it should have been the decision last year at Brawl In. Now, I do hate that CM Punk was fired. That man, he's a person, right? He was let go. He doesn't now have, he lost his job. As a person who has lost their job, that is an awful fucking feeling, and I hate it. But I made the bed that I laid in before I got fired, so you have to live with that too. And it wouldn't surprise me that in the future, biography or something down the road, that we're going to see CM Punk talk about the events here, give his side of it and everything. And Internet being Internet, I'm pretty sure not the elite is not really truly celebrating over this. I don't think, and again, outside looking in, I don't think anyone in AEW is really seeing this as a good thing. FTR, CM FTR would have been amazing trios. Ricky Starks going into All Out to possibly face CM Punk there for the world title. That would have been a great thing. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat got whipped with a belt 3 weeks ago, I think. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat got whipped with his own belt for nothing now in my eyes. Like, what? We had that segment. It was great heel turn, great thing for Ricky to build up to this, and now it was for nothing. Now Collision doesn't have technically a world champion, not treating it as like two brands or anything, but we don't see that now. I now have fear of the other talent that is friends with Punk that are going to be leaving. Brody King was apparently reported that he was pissed. He apparently punched like a trash can or something, that he was mad over that fight happened. And if they're friends with Punk, they're not bad people. They know him much more personally than we do. So it's not that we can really demonize any of these other people who know the real CM Punk, who knows the real Phil Brooks. They're doing what they're doing. If I don't want anyone to leave, okay? I don't. I want AEW to be great. I want those wrestlers to stay there and be great, help grow this company, help grow new talent, and be successful. But I don't know what the fallout on this is going to be. I don't know what the fallout is going to be for Chicago tomorrow. Chicago United Center, AEW All Out. The pay-per-view, the big event after last week's All In, which was fantastic, by the way. That's home to CM Punk. I'm pretty sure he was supposed to headline that with Ricky Starks. Now we have to change up everything. We have to shift a lot of stories around because now we lost that real world title. MJF is our AEW world champion. He is our world champ. The possibility to see CM Punk and MJF again to solidify who the real world champion is, it's now gone. And I look at the breadcrumbs that were left for the stories because of all this. That's now it's hurting. It's going to hurt us as fans because we don't get to see that come to fruition. And that's what really sucks. And And again, I hate that all of this happened when it shouldn't have. So, as a CM Punk fan, this whole I was also in a Starbucks parking lot waiting for Carlin to grab herself a coffee. We were actually hunting for some Halloween cup for her, but she found a different cup, which was so like a success. She found something she didn't have, and she got a coffee. And I was just scrolling through Twitter, and what? It happened! It happened! So no, this is not me. Hopefully, this isn't really considered a video of me bashing CM Punk, because it's not. He fucked up. There's your consequences to your actions. And like the fact that it didn't happen at Brawl Ends, like, bro, that was the biggest safety net of all. Now you came back from that. Like, you're not untouchable. It's just you need to walk on glass at this point. Be careful. Like, you're under the microscope. Like, I've been there. But the altercation with Jack Perry, like, it shouldn't have happened. It absolutely shouldn't happen. And I'm saddened as a fan that I don't get to see a lot of things that he did come about. I will always treasure the first dance. Always. 2 years ago, always treasure the first dance. But everything until the Brawl In last year, that first year, that's a great CM Punk AEW moment. Everything else is really been sullied, my man. It really sullied. So people can cheer that he's gone. People can boo that he's gone. People can hate Tony. People can thank Tony. Like, for me, it's like, just it was always over our heads. It was that weird cloud that we had over our heads. It's like, what's he gonna do? Is this gonna fuck up? Is he gonna be all right? And the cloud's gone now, so I'm thankful of that, because it was just really worrisome. And maybe that cloud would have been gone like in a year, maybe after like finishing the storyline with Ricky, helping Ricky, like boost Ricky up. But I don't know. And I'm interested to see exactly what All Out's going to turn out. I'm excited. I'm wondering what Collision from now on is going to be out. And I'm not saying like Collision will not succeed without CM Punk. AEW is going to succeed either way. And CM Punk is indeed a big draw. Big ticket seller, big merchandise seller. He is a big name. But he's the one who put his own name in the mud there. And honestly, I think we're going to have to wait for the biography in a few years to see his side of everything. What really happened. Because no one really happens except for lawyers. Kenny, the Elite, Ace Steel, CM Punk, the lawyers, Tony Khan, those people backstage all know what happened. So we're just gonna have to wait for the tell-all book, the tell-all interview, probably with JR, to really go into detail of what happened last year at as we all really keep calling it, the Brawl In. But I'm sad CM Punk's gone. But AEW will move on, Collision will move on, and they still have amazing talent for it. So that's my piece on that. Thank you also for hearing and listening